So, Caitlin Clark obviously has been an exceptional player in the WNBA. But one thing that I actually saw it a couple of days ago and I didn't read too much into it. Somebody actually sent me an email explaining the whole situation, and now I'm after seeing on a podcast clip that's being shared around. Unrivaled. It looks like Unrivaled might have gone even further than anyone thought in order to try to get Caitlin Clark, which I don't know how true this all is, but like if this is true, it's a mad out situation. Before we get on, if you guys aren't new to the channel, subscribe. Trying to hit 40k by Christmas, and right now we're at 13.1k. If we get to 39.2k by the end of the day, that would be absolutely insane. But what we saw was who they named as the GM of Unrivaled. So we all know what high school Caitlin Clark went to. She went to a Dowling Catholic High School in Iowa. And now we're after hearing on the Locked On podcast, we're hearing this about the GM.
There's a player who went to Dowling Catholic. She was one of the great stars. She then went on to win the Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference title as a freshman. There are 2 wild cards remaining. Claire, are you going to play in this year's version of Unrivaled?
You know what? Conflict of interest, number 1. And number 2, I hung up my shoes long ago, but appreciate the question, Howard.
Sure. Yeah. Had to be asked.
It
had
did,
to be
yeah.
asked.
I'm sure I'm the Dowling Catholic grad that you're really curious about.
If you have another one in mind, well, you'll have to let me know about it.
Nothing's coming.
Claire, well, it's always.
So it is funny, like, it got pointed out as well, where like while obviously GM of Unrivaled is on the podcast, the guy is asking her, being like, well, is there another Dowling Catholic alum that you can get, basically, former Dowling Catholic graduate? And she's like, nope. Obviously, we know Caitlin Clark is not going to be an Unrivaled, and that is just kind of mad thing, and that is like again one of the conspiracy theories. It's been one of the conspiracy theories that, like, even from the start, they were trying to. I don't believe in this one, but this is one of the Unrivaled conspiracy theories that they genuinely did everything they could. It was like once the full court press was announced, suddenly it's like, oh yeah, everything's for Caitlin. The Messi offer got announced. The GM is someone who went to the same high school as her and definitely knows Kate. Like, they definitely know each other, and yeah, like that has been the genuinely the big thing, was that it seemed like everything was, no matter what, to get Caitlin Clark in. That seemed like every single thing that they did was just to get Caitlin Clark. I don't believe in this conspiracy theory. Like Claire Duelis, who was the woman in that clip, and obviously she's being asked about it, but like, and I get it. Obviously, Cheryl Reeve had a lot of the basketball decisions, but she was the GM of the Minnesota Lynx. Like, the Minnesota Lynx. Obviously, she is the GM of Unrivaled, but she was the general manager of the Lynx. She was basketball operations coordinator in 2014, and she worked her whole way through the Lynx until she ended up getting the job at Unrivaled. And as the general manager, she drafted pretty well. She drafted Diamond Miller and Dorka Juhas, who are both okay players. Like, Diamond Miller didn't play much last year, but Dorka Juhas is a good bench option. And like her first real off season as the GM, she signed Courtney Williams, Alana Smith, Natisha Heidemann, and signed Sika Kone and ended up trading Sika Kone for Maisha Hines-Allen, which is a pretty decent trade. So it is, and I also said she brought back Xander Lassini, so she did a really good job in Minnesota. I think that's the reality of it, is that she did a really good job as the GM of Minnesota, so she got the job as the GM of Unrivaled. Like, I don't think what a lot of people are alluding to, and it's the reason why I didn't make the video at the time when I did get the email about it, is that I don't think that, I don't think there's that much of a correlation. I think that it's a coincidence more so than it's a correlation in that regard, because yes, I think if Unrivaled like would have done anything to have gotten Caitlin Clark, like genuinely would have done anything to have gotten her, but I still think that this is a decision that's a smart one. Maybe like a happy, not a happy one, like a happy almost accident that there probably is a link there between her and Caitlin Clark, but I don't think that that's part of the bait. I think they did a lot of things. I think all those articles being pumped out were bait. I think the 22 article, I think the wild cards being there was bait. Like, I actually don't think they have players. Like, I think that's the issue. I don't actually think they have 36 players. Like, I've still heard that, like, Kaiser Gondrasek is looking to play in Unrivaled. She got cut this year. Like, she played, like, 4 WNBA games and literally just got waived. Like, she hasn't played basketball since, what, June? She hasn't played ball since June, so it's like, it's been a long time since she's played basketball, and she's talking openly about waiting for the call from Unrivaled. And yeah, I do think that genuinely it's the league is not in a good spot right now if you're Unrivaled. The league is genuinely not in a good spot, and I hate the way that Unraveled is so close to Unrivaled, and also the fact that they've been so close to everything. And I know it was over the holidays, but like, Kelsey Plum's name's still there. Like, Kelsey Plum is still on the advertising, so maybe it's not that easy for Kelsey Plum to get out. Like it's obviously different. Like, obviously people are going to be saying, yeah, they're like, Kelsey Plum's going to be or all these players, they're all like pro player, but I'm like, maybe not when it affects their bottom line. So I don't know what you're going to see happening now. Like, if Kelsey Plum, if they've signed contracts, are they just going to be allowed to walk from the contracts for free? Either way, though, it's going to be interesting to see. I hope the league is a success. Honestly, I hope it is. More basketball is better for everybody, and the more opportunities there are for people to play basketball and for people to get paid to play basketball, the better. And like, it's why I don't understand why people are like clowning on the big three, because I'm like, it's something to play basketball. Either way, though, Unrivaled's not looking in the best spot right now. Honestly, like, it was looking, if you had asked a month ago, it was looking great. Like, it was looking really good a month ago, because there was all of the extra funding and everything and all of this positive stuff around it. Potential of getting Caitlin Clark. You got Lexi Hall, you got Aaliyah Boston. If you're not getting Caitlin Clark, at least you got them. And now it's like, I don't know. It's in a bit of a rough spot. And now you're like, it's at the stage now where you're seeing people like digging for conspiracies that the GM was only hired to appease Caitlin Clark and to try bring her in. And that's one of the theories, honestly, I'm not going to even entertain, because let's be real. She went to the same high school as Caitlin Clark, but she was also the GM of probably the team who had one of the best rebuilds ever over the course of one summer. So that also has to be taken into account.